I'll never understand how we're living in a time where games can look absolutely incredible and run really well. Capcom, for all their faults, are one of the best examples of this. id Software is another great example of this. Machine Games is a good example of this. DICE was a good example of this. Games that look incredible, they have absolutely beautiful environments, wonderful animations, great lighting, all the most great things you can ask for that really gets the most out of your GPU, and they're not actually that demanding to run, because these are games made by people who cared about making a good gameplay experience and not just pushing the hardware as far as they can with no regard for the gameplay experience. And this is part of the reason why Unreal Engine bothers me so much. And no, you did not misread the title of the video. Unreal Engine has claimed yet another victim. I'll get into that in a second, because Unreal Engine, as detailed as it is, as wonderfully easy to work with as it is, there are so many fundamental problems with this engine that Epic Games is never going to fix, because I mean, why would they? They don't have any interest in actually making games anymore. All they care about is the flashiest thing possible, the sparkliest sparkles they can possibly put on your screen. They don't care what frame rate or what kind of stutters you have to deal with in order for it to get on your screen. And the industry, being cheap and unimaginative and constantly chasing the greatest graphics possible, they're just going to fall lockstep in with that kind of thing, and that's why Unreal Engine is everywhere now, despite it being a complete piece of trash. And before you say something about the irony of me playing an Unreal Engine game in the background of this video, Marvel Rivals is at least a decently optimized game because it's not going for the ultra realistic sweat pores on everybody's fucking faces. It's just trying to be a fun game with some nice visuals, and it doesn't care about being realistic. My goodness, remember when the games industry wasn't ultra concerned with being realistic all the time? Isn't it cool what you can make when you're not trying to make everything look realistic? But here we are again, and I'm sure some of you were in the loop on this because there was a post that started going viral over the weekend from @JakeTheLemur, who says the left is the requirements for LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. The right is the requirements for LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. What in the actual fuck are we doing here, guys? And I'm just going to put up the specs for Skywalker Saga, and I'm going to put the specs on top of some gameplay for the Skywalker Saga, because Skywalker Saga, despite being a LEGO game, looks really good. It is a very visually appealing game. Say what you want about the game itself, but it looks fantastic. Now let's go ahead and put the LEGO Batman 4 gameplay on screen with these system requirements. Oh, can you not see those? Here, let me make them a little bigger. Let me zoom and enhance this shit with the Bat computer that I have to run this fucking thing. Like, are you serious? Are you serious? These are the recommended specs for LEGO Batman? An Intel i7 or Ryzen 7, 32 gigs of RAM, and a 3080 10 gigabyte with a required SSD. That's probably the least offensive part of this, is the fact that the SSD is required. Doesn't mean it should be required. I have no clue why a game like this would require an SSD, but somehow that's the least offensive part of this. And can you guess what happened in between these two games? Can I give you 10 seconds to think about it? What changed? Look at this gameplay from the Skywalker Saga, and then look at this gameplay from LEGO Batman 4. These are both good-looking games from a technical standpoint. What happened in between them that caused the system requirements to jump so much? I'll give you a hint. It rhymes with Bunreal Benjin Bive, developed by a company called Bepic Games, led by their CEO Bim Bweeney. And like, for a game that is costing you 70 smackaroos and is already asking you to pay an extra 20 smackaroos to play it 3 days early. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Is Unreal Engine actually this unoptimized? Like, is it really so easy to work with that this is a worthy trade-off? How is this game going to run on the Switch 2? The game's running on the Switch 2, and yet these are the PC requirements? What are we doing here? Although I do like this post on the Steam forums. The Steam forums are not happy about this, nor should they be, but there's some funny comments. Like this one that says, they really want you to feel like the Batman playing this game. You have to be Batman to afford a computer that can play the game. And I also love the instant damage control going around with this. I'm going to do a separate Salt video just about the damage control that's going on, because there seem to be a lot, and I can't even narrow down where this is coming from, But there are a ton of people out there just instantly assuming that PC gamers are in the wrong for these requirements being complete fucking trash. I mean, LEGO Games News immediately came out and quote tweeted this original post to say, to clear any misinformation surrounding this post, the specs displayed on Steam for the new LEGO Batman game is placeholder information. TT Games is still optimizing the title, and the final specs will be revealed shortly before launch, smiley face. Which I then ratioed the fuck out of them by just simply pointing out the fact that the specs weren't placeholder until we started getting upset about them. Then all of a sudden they were placeholder, which also, no they're not. You know what a placeholder system spec sheet looks like? It looks like no system spec sheet. It looks like the letters TBD or TBA. It pisses me off so much when people immediately assume that the bad spec sheets can't possibly be what actually is coming out. It's like, there's no way a game would come out unoptimized in the current year. What are you on about? Of course there's a way it comes out unoptimized in the current year, especially if it's running on the unoptimized engine. I mean, Sammy even responded to LEGO Games News and says, I'm not really sure why they'd put these as placeholders instead of the usual TBD. Seems like it'll just deter people from pre-ordering it, TBH. And LEGO Games says, agreed, but they have to put something on the store for the game to be illegible. Let me repeat that. They have to put something on the store for the game to be illegible. Buddy, that's not a sentence. Also, how do you agree with the fact that it should be TBD, but then at the same time say, well, they can't put TBD? I agree that they should put TBD, but they can't put TBD. What? It's the James Bond thing all over again. A couple weeks ago, James Bond's fucking Amazon game puts out system specs that make zero sense and are ridiculously over demanding for the kind of game it is. People complain about it, and then the James Bond game comes out and they're like, actually the spec sheet was wrong. Here's the new one. And the new one was also, it was still stupid, but it was just like an obvious attempt at damage control. Why are you posting spec sheets if they're so liquid to you? And why are you posting spec sheets? Oh, if they're just placeholders. No, they are not. You legitimately thought it was acceptable to put these spec sheets out because that is how the game is running, and you know it. And now that people are upset that that's how the game is running and you know it, you have to give some kind of excuse as to why it's not actually your fault that you are selling the product that runs the way you made it to run. So, I mean, not to pivot this video and do just a complete fucking roast of this ponce, but just my thesis is this. Why in the world is this seen as an acceptable spec sheet for a LEGO game? And even if it is a placeholder, oh, it's a placeholder spec sheet, bro. They'll optimize the game and release the real spec sheet. Well, a spec sheet like this is just going to make people not buy the game because this is nonsense. And if you don't understand that, why are you the one making the game when you are so blatantly out of touch with the people who would be buying it? And I was so excited for this game too. But I mean, fuck me for not wanting a completely unoptimized mess. Does this mean I can't even run the LEGO game on my Steam Deck now? Like, is that where we're at? The new LEGO game can't be run on a Steam Deck because the Steam Deck doesn't have 5 bajillion gigs of RAM that it absolutely does not need to run a game like this, but we insisted on using Unreal Engine, so hands tied, guys, we had to use Unreal Engine. No, you didn't! This is what your last game looked like, and it did not run on the Unreal Engine. This is what your last game looked like. Also, can I just point out how fucking stupid it is, and how fucking stupid you are if you actually believe these are placeholder specs, and not the real specs that they just want to backpedal on? Why the fuck would you be accepting money on Steam with a spec sheet in place that is supposed to be representative of the product? You are accepting money for the Steam version of the game, and you have a spec sheet that's supposed to be representative of the game. Why would you not say they are placeholder if they are placeholder? You are accepting money for it based on the information on the Steam page. But now that people are upset about the information on the Steam page, now the information is placeholder, but also still give me money for it based on the placeholder information that I have made no attempt to actually call placeholder anywhere other than somewhere you have to leave Steam to find. This is such a bullshit excuse, and you're fucking stupid if you believe it. I'm in a mood right now. You people, and also now I'm just looking through I'm looking through the responses that I've gotten to this tweet and how fucking mad people are getting at me for pointing this out. Like, what is going on? What is happening? How are we at the point where I'm the one getting yelled at for pointing out that these specs for a Lego game are incredibly unreasonable and the dev is clearly trying to damage control over the specs because they haven't optimized it? Why am I being painted as the villain here? Don't worry, that's tomorrow's video. I'm getting my screenshots right now. But also first Doofus Club time. I'm buying all Steam controllers for myself. The Gamer 12/7, Blast 13/14, Mayo Setsuna, Biscuit 1101, Chris Void, West of Rex, Hence I'm Game of Day People Nate. I own 6 Slick Click Flick on Blu-ray discs. Delta 169 Elite, Eric Von Vonderheim, Flubbing 97, Unicorn Rocco, Godoji Fan 2005. Return of the King, Ways Upside Down, Bill 310 Char, AI Slop, that makes me Microsoft. Good, Doug, Nigsy, Smile, Dirty Mike, and the boys. Contractually obligated to give Curbside Anthems 8 dozen eggs. Max Call of Duty Gaming is a hard nug life. Nice dude, 1 minute savage, but no payoff. Official dregs, help me, I'm losing to a shark and Marvel Rivals. Good. Vector, Vendetta, Ultra Mechanical Resonance, Sick Nick, Mad Fox 94, Exchange Induction, Bear Brain, Stick Rider, Broken Crayon, Pro Profit Hacking, Jake, Spider Monkey, 974, hashtag Biggest Dickish, Schmuff from Smells to Schmidt, Vast Dennis, Muskie, Big Fudge, Thrash, The Vibe, and Odd, Clyde Penguin, JoJo 6, Mole Theme, Really Zerd, Oracle, Blast 13, what the fuck, Jimmy Chops, Master Killer, Firestorm 2056, Tom Snorlax, and Unknown 86718. Got some new A50s, and now I got Audio Orgasms Daily, Edge Shadow Bear 1789, Better Von Du, T-Train, Rising Iron, On Volant, High Partial Main 8, Vox Auto, Command 4372, WX, Snake Eyes 327, MK2396E, X Mach Gamma, Firehazard 105, Tech Gaming Jungle Zone, he's still not there, Joe, kill yourself. Slim Jim, Lord Bowser II, Joe laughs at us in the moat, Gay Local, Loud Doesn't PC Gamer, Jessica Shepard, Ricky's Power, Ricky Zabby, Xylem Phone, Doofenshmirtz Schmertz Academy, Crew the Steel Angel, I filled him out with Spokes, Getting Losers, Spokes, Sporks, Cyrus 6771, 2X and 940, Joe Vast, Dennis, stole my Steam Deck, you bought me, Creed Warrior 23, Max Chev, Similar Chat, Totally Insane, Black Cobra, Face the Wall, Xeno Lover, Night of Cypher, ML04, One Night, Wolf, Midnight, EKW, Steve One Studios, Film Kraken, Own Gaming, Tariq, Brown, Thornsgate, Magnex, Severn, Evans, Bizarro 3, Skyline for Weimarkers, Pow, Donnie Weston, Gob Gonson, Rogue, Winter 919, Zach Thane, Hanging In for Hire, Ellen Noble, Frost Crystal, Biogenesis, Manga Keys, Scuffies Go, Roast Ho, Ghost Row, Ghost Go, Ryu Soggy, Raptor Tam, I'm Step 94, Blue Hook, Win and Wank in the Wind Wanker, Lee Mr. Techno Squeak, Jody Peace, Mickey Wiggum Jensen, McAdvertisement, Dale Garcia, Kim Begins, I'm American, Eddie Harmon on the channel, knows Justin Rand, where you're tuning weeks, Wolf 7, Retro, West JMM, SG, Veg, Groove Fanatic, Kurt, Nalin Specs, all have the VeggieTales. Next time, VeggieTales. That was like the worst one I've done in so long. That was one of the worst Doofus Club raids I've done in my entire life. You're welcome. God damn it. Okay, toodles.